Seriously, there's all kinds of questions that the parents could potentially ask you as to, like, when you say, hey, I want to propose to your daughter. Lights, camera, action. Let's start the show. Here's a little advice from me for your wedding to help your story unfold. You guys, we are in episode 16 today, and as you can see, we are on location again, and we are going to be talking about in today's episode talking to her parents before he proposes. So this is still a perspective of the groom, and it's him getting a chance to talk to her parents before he proposes to her and waiting to see what they say. So basically, you are going to be talking to her parents, and you are going to wait to see what their response is when you say, hey, I want to propose to your daughter. And hopefully by now they know you, they like you and things like that. And they're going to have some questions for you more than likely, okay? Let's hope that they have some questions for you. If they're pretty good parents, they will have something that they're going to say when you say, hey, I want to propose to your daughter. And hopefully you are mature enough that you actually have some amazingly wonderful answers for them that are going to be great for the both of you when it comes to this step in your lives. So here we go. I've got some questions that they might ask and things for you to be pondering on and thinking about and getting your answers ready for. All right. So one of the first questions that their parents might ask you is she pregnant? I know nobody thinks that they're going to get a question like that. Like, oh my goodness, is she pregnant? Right? And so you need to be ready with a response of no, she's not, of course not, so that they know that, like, that's not what's going on here. Okay? That's not what's going on. You just want to marry this girl. You love her. And, like, this is going to be the best thing for the both. Another question that they might ask is, like, are you sure? Are you sure that you want to marry our daughter? Right? And so you need to be ready with, like, an answer. Like, are you sure? Yes, I am sure. This is what we want to do. This is what I want to do. I want to propose to her. And so, you got to be ready with an answer for that. Now, they might be amazing. They might be the type of parents that's like, you know what, we know him so well. This is great. We've been waiting for this. And so now they're asking you things like, well, are you going to tell her, like, so that she can plan it? Or did she already tell you that she wanted this to be, like, a surprise? Might ask is, why our daughter? Like, why do you want to propose to our daughter? What makes you think that she is, like, the right one for you? And, like, why do you want to propose to her? And so, like, do you have a good answer for that? Like, do you know why you want to propose to their daughter? So be thinking about the why. Why do you want to marry this person? Why is it so important to you that, like, this is the right person and not the person that you were dating, however long ago before her, right? So be thinking about that. Like, why her? And so that's, who knows? She may be wondering that too whenever you propose to her. I don't know. Probably not. You guys already have established a relationship. So hopefully she's not, like, thinking about that at all whenever you propose to her. That you guys just kind of, like, you just know. Okay? So make sure that you have an answer for the parents when they ask, because they probably are going to ask. They're probably going to ask this question. Okay? So, yeah. The next question is, can you provide? Can you provide for their daughter? They're basically asking, do you have any money? Okay, do you have any money? So they're asking, like, how are you going to provide? Do you have a job? Have you been on that job for a long time? Are you the type of person that, like, moves jobs a lot and stuff like that? And so they're going to be asking you, like, do you know what you're going to be doing for work here? Okay, and, like, what are you guys going to do if you don't have a job? They may even ask you something like that. I mean, they may not, but, like, it's something to be thinking about in these times, right? Like, what's the plan? Obviously, to look for another job, but sometimes that's not always the case. So, would you be willing to live with them or to live with your parents if something were to happen? So, like I said, these are just all things to know that they, like, could ask you. Not for sure that they would, but that they could. Okay? The next one is, this is a good question. How do you plan to, like, incorporate her into, like, your family and your traditions and things like that? Like, how do you plan on incorporating her, allowing her to be a part of those things so that she doesn't feel left out? Just, like, all the good stuff, you know what I mean? Like, what is your plan for that? What is your plan for incorporating her into that? Have you already talked to your parents about what that's going to look like? Because, like, she's going to be now added to the family, and so, as well as your children, and they don't want their child to feel, like, left out, or that, you know, potentially, there's this dog. Oh my god, they don't have a leash on. Like, I don't know why people think just because it snowed outside you don't have to wear a leash for your dog, but they do. It's so rude. And so, yeah, just be sure that you have an understanding of those things that they probably are going to ask you. Stuff like that. Like, how are you going to incorporate her into holidays, into celebrations with your family? And obviously, you know, with that is going to come, well, are we only going to see her every other holiday? You don't want her, you don't want that, you don't want their parents to feel that way. You don't want the parents to feel like, oh, they're never going to see you. This is going to be so bad. You know, they're only going to see you every other holiday. And, like, maybe they are, but tell them it's not going to be that bad. Let them know that, like, we're gonna work this through. It's something for us to be thinking about together, all as a family, of how we can incorporate, you know, the different holidays and everything like that. I've suggested that people should celebrate birthdays more, and so that if you celebrate birthdays more, then you're not just waiting until the holidays for everybody to get together, and then, like, if you do have to miss, like, Thanksgiving that year, it's okay, because you got to see them for, like, your birthday or for your parents' birthday, that, like, everybody's always getting together for also birthdays and job milestones and kids' birthdays, you know? So then it's not just, oh, the holidays are the only thing, and so we're only celebrating when the world tells us to celebrate, and that we don't celebrate any other time. We want to be celebrating ourselves more than just that, okay? They might ask this question, where are you going to live? Like, what are your plans for, like, where you guys are going to live? And so when it comes to that question, hopefully you have an answer. Hopefully you were watching episodes 1 through 15, and as the man, this is, you know, the groom-to-be, you were getting that house together so that when they ask you that, you're like, well, me and my dad, we've already been getting the house together. The house is already built, or the house is almost done, and so you have an answer for them when it comes to that. And if not, then you've saved up enough money to be able to rent somewhere for more than a year, okay? More than a year without stress, without the stress. You're not living paycheck to paycheck, okay? So hopefully more than a year, you've got some money saved up for that, all right? I mean, to me, that's an easy question, but I know that a lot of people, if they were to be asked that question before they got proposed to, they wouldn't have even had an answer for those parents asking that question. They would have been like, I have no idea. I don't know, right? And so you don't want to go in like that. The next question has to do with kids. Are you going to have children? Have you thought about how many children you want? Have you thought about the fact if you wanted children or not? So you do want to be thinking, like I said, just be thinking about all these. These are just questions to be thinking about. You may not have all the answers to them, obviously, but it's just something to have your mind to be thinking about, okay? The next question has to do with your parents. Have you talked to your parents about this marriage proposal? Hopefully you did. That was a step you were supposed to do right before this one. So if they ask you this question, you're like, yep, I already talked to my parents. They're on board. They're excited. They can't wait. I already have their blessing. I hope that I could have yours. And so hopefully it's not like, you know, no, I haven't talked to them and I have no idea, nor do I care. You know, you don't want to say that. You don't want to, like, it's important that we have our parents' blessings. That, you know, I mean, you're the one that's marrying this person, so what matters is what you two really want at the end of the day. But, like, it would be nice to have your parents, like, on board with the whole thing, okay? Just making sure that they're on board is great. With challenges that could arise. Challenges. A lot of people don't realize that marriage is challenging, and so you want to talk about. The parents might ask you, the girl's parents might ask you, like, "Hey, have you guys talked about all the marriage challenges that could come up? You know, you're in your mentorship and you're in your counseling with your couples mentorship, and so." Hopefully you have an answer for this, that yes, you guys have talked about them. You at least have like some ideas of what to do when challenges arise, different challenges that can arise. Like I said, these are just questions that they could ask you. They might not ask you any of these questions, but at least you know that you're prepared in the best way you could going into marriage by having answers even for yourselves, like for her, for you, just for your own peace of mind, okay? Just for your own peace of mind. They might ask you, do you realize that this is a lifelong commitment? Okay? This is a lifelong commitment that the two of you are making. And do you understand that this is not just something to do for your Instagram, TikTok, or social media, that that marriage is serious, okay? This is not something to be played with. This isn't a game. And so they might ask you that, and hopefully you have an answer for them that, like, no, this is not a game to you either. You are taking this extremely serious, okay? You're taking it very, 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 very serious. So the next thing is, of course, are you guys going to continue counseling? They may ask you that. They may want to know if you guys are going to continue your mentorship. It's important to be thinking about an answer to that, because hopefully you are going to continue your mentorship. Hopefully you are going to continue going to counseling and being a part of counseling and having that to help your marriage along the way throughout the years. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a ton of people in your circle, but you do need someone in your circle, preferably a couple, a man and wife's perspective, not just a male's perspective or a woman's perspective, okay? So something to think about too is that, like, someday you could potentially have a daughter, right? And so with that, wouldn't you want the guy who's going to, like, propose marriage to her to come and talk to you first before proposing marriage to her? Making, like, you know, a respect thing, that they care enough about your opinion to come and talk to you. So if you are a groom or a groom to be and, like, you're thinking about proposing, just, you know, go in there thinking about that. Don't go in there thinking like, oh, he's automatically going to say no and I'm so afraid of this man and da 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 da. Just put yourself in his shoes. He is going to have concerns. He is going to be worried, okay, about this gentleman, like, now being a part of their life as well. Like, you're also going to have to be incorporated into, like, their family traditions and holidays and celebrations and whatnots, right? Like you now are going to be a part of the family. So there's also a lot of like family drama and a lot of family trauma in families. And so they're going to be thinking about that. It's like, oh, great. Now another person is going to know like all of our family business, you know? So just know that like you want them to be able to trust you. You want them to be able to love on you and care about you. Maybe not exactly the same way that they do their daughter, right? Because like that's their flesh and blood, but you do want them to care about you too. And so it's important that you have this conversation, that you don't skip this. It's exciting, and just know that it is needed no matter what, okay? You may not see it right now, but later on, the fact that you took the time out to go and talk to them prior to proposing to her, it could make like a huge, huge difference, okay? And especially once she finds out about it. Oh, that's so cool. Once like she finds out about it. And I'll tell you guys this. I remember when my honeydew talked to my mom, because my father is not in my life and neither is my grandfather on my dad's side. And then, well, now they all have passed away, but my grandfather on my mom's side had been passed away like I was super tiny. And so he wasn't there. So no grandpas, and my father did not raise me, right? And so my mom had a talk with my honeydew, and oh my gosh, wow. So sometimes moms, you have to stand up and you have to step up to be that person that he talks to, rather than just like one of the fathers or grandfathers or uncles or somebody like that in the family, okay? Because maybe you don't have those people. Maybe those people aren't around, you know? And that says a lot about our society as a whole, that like we get to like this marriage part of our lives and like there aren't even the men even around, you know? And that's really, really sad. And this is like the majority of us. It's my family is not anything different, okay? This is the majority of people don't have father figures in their life, grandfathers or uncles in their life on either side that can like help with this whole like making this huge decision in their lives. And so yeah, it's really, really sad. Now listen, if you are a groom to be, or if you are a groom right now and you're watching this video and you just want to like talk a little bit more about some of this stuff, like you wouldn't mind coming on my platform and like getting on a video call with me and just kind of like us talking about this more and sharing like your insights on some of this stuff, so that other grooms and grooms to be out there are like getting a chance to hear like others' perspectives and how they can, you know, face this part of the proposal. Like this is preparing for the proposal before you propose. So it's preparing for marriage before you get married. That's what this has all been about for your wedding series. So hopefully you are the type of person that's like, you know what, I do want to help others. I do want people to have some more insight on this. I've got questions that were asked to me that like myself, your content creator, did not go over. And so I would like to hear from you. So if you want to do that, if you want to come on a platform, you want to be a part of this helping community, you can email me at yourcontentcreator@yahoo.com. And I can't wait to see y'all in the next episode. Bye!
Get ready for the social media explosion. We'll make your feeds go wild with emotion. With every shot we take, your likes will soar. YouTube shorts, TikTok trends will give you more.